Hey guys, I'm back with today's video. It's going to be on where I started and where I am today as far as my fitness and weight loss has gone. Hope you all enjoyed that little clip I did at the beginning. Anyway, let's jump right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is not where I started and where I began, but actually the tools I've been using to make this happen. So the first thing I use, of course, anybody should use, is a cell phone. All you need is the camera on your cell phone, and you can take before and after pictures. I find this to be the best method at tracking your weight loss because you can easily compare yourself to where you were and to where you are now just by looking at a picture. So the second method I use involves some measurements. So the first thing that I used is this here, just a standard tape measure. It's like $2. And I also used this caliper. So it's a skin fold caliper. Pinch your skin with it. That one's like $10. I'll link both of those things down in the description. I got them off of Amazon. So the caliper came separate, but the tape measure actually came with the scale I bought. I'll also put that in the description below. The scale I purchased is the most reviewed on Amazon, and it has like a 4.5 star rating, so I definitely recommend that. I haven't had any problems with it. So these tools both aid in trying to estimate your body fat. So if you want to use the caliper, I've included a link down in the description that lets you know how to use the caliper, and there's also a body fat percentage calculator along with that. The caliper is a great tool, but the main points you need to know are: number one, you need to stay consistent. You need to measure in the same spots each time. And number two, I recommend doing it 3 times and taking the average of all those measurements. And of course, the final thing I used is the scale, which is probably the most popular thing that people use today to track their weight loss or track how they're doing. It's an okay method, but the problem with that is your body changes with what you're doing. So you might lose weight, but that could be water weight or it could be body fat. You really don't know the difference based on the number. And in my case, since I'm trying to build muscle and lose fat at the same time, this only helps me a little bit. My weight is probably going to stay about the same. I might change 10 or 15 pounds, which is good, but that'll be it. So enough with the explanation. Let's see what these methods have done for me. So I actually began my journey about 10 weeks ago. At the time, I weighed 180.4 pounds. Here's a picture of me right here. That 3 weeks prior to when I started the program, I went on to a low-carb diet, and I ended up losing about 10 pounds. So my starting weight for the program is 170 pounds. Something interesting to note though here is my picture at just starting the program also. As you notice, doesn't look a whole lot different from the previous photo. And to back that up even more, I went ahead and took measurements at each stage. So 10 weeks ago, my waist was 40.25 inches, and after those 3 weeks, my waist was only 40 inches. So I didn't lose a whole lot of fat. The main thing I did lose was like water weight. So starting with the 7-week program, I actually took the measurements with the caliper and I got a body fat percentage of 21.4. That's probably going to be plus or minus 1%. So after that 7 or 8 weeks, my current weight now, which I showed you earlier, is 162.6. This is where it gets interesting. So starting off with the waist again, I was at a 40-inch waist at the beginning of the program. Right now I'm at a 38.75-inch waist. So that's a 1.25-inch difference, which is definitely a lot more noticeable. Something else to mention, I went ahead and did the measurements again with the caliper, and I got a body fat percentage of 19.7. So the net loss that I got during the program was 1.25 inches, about 1.7% body fat, and 7.4 pounds. So as you can see, I actually lost less weight during the 7 weeks of weight training than I did in that first 3 weeks of doing a low carb diet. This, of course, is going to be because I'm building muscle and I'm losing fat, which is the goal I had in mind. So as you can see, the scale doesn't always tell you the whole story. That's something to keep in mind whenever you're tracking your weight loss. So guys, I hope this video was helpful to you. If you enjoyed the video, why don't you give it a like, and I'll see you next time. Hey, what's up guys? This is Ryan here. I'm here to bring you an introduction to my new channel. The main things we're going to be